Are you asking yourself, why am I not seeing real results from my internet advertising campaigns? You may also be asking yourself, where am I going wrong? Well, what if I told you you're not alone? Surprisingly, 60 to 80% of internet advertising campaigns fail to generate a positive return. It's a well-accepted principle that most companies are required to spend between 8 and 10% of revenue on advertising or marketing. In real terms, after deducting fixed and variable overheads and cost of goods sold, an advertising budget needs to generate revenue equating to 10 to 12 times of the spend. Ask yourself, are you meeting these benchmarks or are you failing to build momentum? Every day, many businesses like your own pour money into ads that flash, vanish, and demand more just to stay seen. And over 90% of companies like yourself are competing to be seen in that increasingly crowded and confusing space. This increasing saturation explains why businesses are shifting budgets. As with such high concentrations, the digital noise is deafening. This noise is only going to become more and more overwhelming with the deluge of AI-generated content. While global advertising spend is expected to surpass $1 trillion in 2026, the digital space is dominated by the three major players who together account for 62.3% of online advertising spend by businesses like your own. Executives from this digital oligopoly are celebrating ever-increasing profits. Can you say the same for your own business? Is your business thriving? Are you enjoying growing profits? Is your advertising spend working for you? Or is it disproportionately benefiting others? If your answer is no or not really, your second question is going to be, but show me a better way. Sure. But first, we need to identify the problem before we can present the solution. A comprehensive solution that will return the balance of power back to the advertiser. But how do we do this? Let me try to explain. Let's imagine a luxury timepiece, every intricate component meticulously crafted. If you genuinely want to restore it to peak performance, it's not enough for the parts to merely work. They must fit together perfectly and operate in the correct sequence. Anything less, and the watch is just a useless accessory. Picture that watch as the consumer's buying journey. Without each piece in the correct order, you're wasting your marketing budget on something ineffective, just like a useless ornament. Previously, what started as optimism turns into exhaustion. Constant tweaks, constant reports, and no dependable return you can build a business on. You work hard in your business and deserve to ensure your marketing budget is used wisely. It's high time you demand a strategy that delivers real results, not just empty promises. Now's the moment to stop accepting poor marketing and start demanding a strategy that focuses on the consumer's buying journey. Now, with this revolutionary new approach across 7 stages, the purchasing journey moves from first notice to lasting loyalty, so your marketing stops chasing attention and starts building demand that holds. Previous campaigns were not really understanding or addressing the true psychology of the purchasing journey. While repeat impressions are important, we can still do more to move the consumer from awareness to purchase and ultimately repeat business. Real momentum is forged under pressure, one deliberate strike at a time. Let's take a look at one company that represents the problems faced by many. For ABC Tires and Wheels, the path forward wasn't scattered advertising. It was a deliberate sequence of impressions, shaped to move buyers steadily towards a resilient and enduring purchase decision. At first, it's just a spark, a brief moment when the brand enters view and something begins. But one social ad impression disappears in a swipe, seen for a second, then buried under the next 100 distractions. Does your present strategy remind you of a laboratory mouse running hard in a wheel? The spend keeps moving, but nothing really advances. In this new, carefully constructed strategy, after the second impression, recognition begins to form. The flame feels familiar, the ABC mark starts to register, and early trust begins to build with every repeated spark. Online ads rarely earn that kind of memory. The moment the spend stops, the visibility fades and the clock resets. So brands find themselves buying the same level of attention again and again, while the wheel keeps spinning and the audience keeps scrolling past. Conversely, with this new hybrid approach, by the third impression, curiosity is turning into real interest. Buyers start exploring the performance data, comparing the proof, and asking whether the value keeps getting stronger with every look. In the pure digital space, this is where ordinary ad campaigns start burning budget. Clicks stack up, invoices grow, and the return still feels thin. The spend increases and the impressions mount up, but the outcome barely does. Our little mouse runs harder, but he is not making any progress. With your new strategy, by the fourth impression, comparison becomes active, buyers start weighing options, and the stronger story begins to separate itself and take a leading position in the buyer's mind. On crowded digital ad platforms, that comparison gets distorted. Every competitor shouts at once, and attention fractures in every direction. Throwing increased budgets at crowded platforms is the equivalent of shouting louder and more often, but more noise doesn't create preference. It just makes the chase more expensive. A subtle change of your strategy means, by the fifth impression, preference is being forged. Repeated proof, repeated value, and repeated presence are now shaping a clear advantage, so ABC Tires and Wheels feels like the stronger choice. In the unstructured, haphazard, and scattergun world of the digital space, the wheel keeps turning. More effort, more spend, more fatigue, and still the same feeling of going nowhere. If you're ready to explore a more effective way to grow your brand, this is just the beginning. In the next video in this series, we'll show you how these carefully structured and systematically evolving impressions can turn into buying decisions that feel natural and inevitable. Claim your spot in the full series now and position your business ahead of your competitors, as exclusivity is at the forefront of this specialized and unique opportunity. In Part 2, you'll discover how this groundbreaking advertising system interconnects online and offline impressions to gradually influence buyers' minds and incrementally shapes these impressions into a subliminally forged, single, inevitable purchasing decision. To register for Part 2, please follow the link in the description below.